Matt Lauer out in public and issuing an apology.
And the big question now, who knew what and when?
Welcome to Access Hollywood. As more women come forward accusing Matt of sexual misconduct, the fallout has begun.
So we begin our coverage with Matt's first words and first sighting since being fired. Casual in jeans, a sweater, and sunglasses, Matt was wearing his wedding ring as he was seen for the first time since being fired. On the move outside his home in the Hamptons. This was just hours after Savannah and Hoda opened today by reading a statement from their former colleague.
We just moments ago received a statement from Matt, and let me read it to you. There are no words to express my sorrow and regret for the pain I have caused others by words and actions. To the people I have hurt, I am truly sorry.
Savannah went on to read Matt's entire statement, which also said, some of what is being said about me is untrue or mischaracterized, but there's enough truth in these stories to make me feel embarrassed and ashamed. Today certainly didn't shy away from the topic, airing a 3-minute segment detailing more accusations which have come out since his firing.
NBC News can report 2 additional women came forward to the network after the news initially broke. A former employee told the New York Times anonymously that in 2001, she was sexually assaulted by the anchor in his office.
The New York Times report, which uses the word assault to describe the encounter, says Matt asked this unnamed employee to come to his office to discuss his story. She claims when she sat down, he locked the door, which he could do by pressing a button at his desk. Good Morning America interviewed one of the Times writers.
She says that he then asked her to unbutton her blouse, which she did. She says he then came around from his desk, pulled down her pants, and had sex with her.
According to the New York Times, after the sexual assault, she passed out in Lauer's office. He then asked his assistant to bring her to the nurse.
Variety released a detailed bombshell report yesterday as well. Reporters Elizabeth Wagmeister and Ramin Satuda interviewed dozens of current and former staffers during a 2-month investigation and spoke to 3 women who identified themselves as victims of sexual harassment, allegedly by Lauer.
One of the women, she is a former NBC employee, and she told me that Matt Lauer sent her a sex toy with a very graphic note, and the note detailed what he wanted to do with that sex toy with her.
And now the big question is emerging of who knew what and when.
From what we have heard from all of our sources and firsthand from these women who claim that they were victimized by Matt Lauer is that they did share their stories. They spoke to people in management positions and nothing was done.
Variety's report claims reports to NBC executives fell on deaf ears because of his value to the network. In a statement, NBC says, we can say unequivocally that prior to Monday night, current NBC News management was never made aware of any complaints about Matt Lauer's conduct. But on CNN, Variety's Ramin Satuda was firm when asked if this was indeed an open secret.
Our sources say it wasn't even considered a secret. It was known by many employees at the Today Show, including some employees that have gone on television and said publicly, we had no idea.
Do you have any reporting that suggested that any of the co-anchors at NBC knew about things like this?
According to our sources, the co-anchors were aware of some of these allegations.
Current anchors or former anchors?
Both.
Current and former anchors of Matt Lauer's knew that he was doing things that rose to the level of this kind of harassment and lewd behavior, not just extramarital affairs.
Not just extramarital affairs. Colleagues were told, and in fact, not only were told or were aware, they were spreading these stories among the staff.
Today, CNN President Jeff Zucker, who was executive producer of the Today Show from 1992 till 2000, spoke at the Business Insider's Ignition Conference. He claims during his time, there was not even a whisper of sexual inappropriate behavior.
I've known Matt for 25 years, and I didn't know this Matt. What's chronicled incredibly well in Variety and the New York Times is, deviant and predatory behavior. And, obviously that is not something that I was ever aware of or had even heard of or had ever been suggested or anything like that. Incredibly heartbreaking.